Here we go again. Another year, another EA NHL entry. And like every year, we are promised improvement, better gameplay, and a better experience. But like each year, this entry missed the mark and didn't quite deliver. So here are my first impression of the game and of the changes made to this iteration. Like every year, NHL is a mid-game. Not bad, but not great. Spread thin on each and every mode it offers and bringing nothing really new to the table apart from a fresh coat of paint. It did one thing good though, that we'll discuss later on. If you play the game year in, year out, there's that feeling of content that creeps in, where we don't expect much from the new entry and we are happy to pay full price for a roster update to a game that year after year don't justify its price. If you look at NHL26 with fresh eyes, from a new player point of view, or if it was from another publisher and judge it for what it is, then yeah, NHL26 is mid. Graphic-wise, gameplay-wise, and for the UI and UX in general. And many players would agree that we got downgrades from previous entries, but we have nothing better on the market to compare it with. So that's the best we can get, and we're satisfied paying full price for a fresh coat of paint. It is a fun game, don't get me wrong, and I like to play it, most of the time, to the pain of the ridiculous menus, the loading screens, the bad graphics and character models, the stripped down modes, and the awful animations from the replays to the cutscenes. The little you have in there. Year after year, we serve the same mediocrity, and we got used to it and we accept it. We tell ourselves it's what it is and brush it off, accepting a non-polished and outdated game, and we still buy it because there's no other hockey game or alternative on the market. We look at each entry, look at the changes, and accept them as they are because we have no choice. But the reality is that it's less of a game each year, as EA reuse over and over the same assets from the past decade. Less is more seems to be their motto, as they strip down options, game modes, and cutscenes. The general user experience is not designed to invite or hook in a new player base. Right off the bat, if you discover the sport and decided to play NHL 26, be warned. The barrier of entry is too high, and the learning curve will be steep and frustrating, as the game is in no way designed to teach new players how to play it. The training mode is an absolute joke. It is just free skate. It doesn't teach you how to play the game, no drills, no control on screens. If you're a new player, you have to watch YouTube videos, tutorial, and try to replicate it in this mode. It's idiotic. I understand that the player base in general knows how to play the game, and you check the deed list or tutorial on YouTube. But if you're a newcomer to the game, NHL 26 doesn't want you in. There is no path to learn the basic mechanics of the game, no training camp. It used to be there though, years ago. And they include a training camp of sort in Ultimate Team. But yet again, it asks you to do a certain amount of team, like 5 hits, but doesn't tell you how to hit depending on the control setup you use. When you should hit, what's an effective hit, what's a reverse hit or hip hit, nothing. Pause the game, go through extra setting menus, and find what button you need to press to make a source pass. The game assumes you know it all. So if you're outside the big European and North American markets and don't have friends that can teach you the game, you're screwed. You'll have to watch some videos on YouTube, do a lot of homework, and try stuff until you know what's going on. This is not fun. This is not great gameplay experience. This is a chore that a new player has to go through for the love of the sport, out of sheer will of wanting to play. That is so bad. The online modes are pretty much the same as each year. I'm a casual player, only have a couple hours a week to play, and being in Australia, forget about playing competitive online with the lag and EA unstable servers. I play on Pro because it balances my skill and fun level. Average player, average CD. Just say for a good time. But is Ultimate Team a fun time? Yes and no. The IceQ thingy is average as per usual. The CPU AI is way better than your team AI, just by the way it deals with players' input and position changes. Like every year, there's some broken stuff. This year, we start with the pod checks that don't work, which sound ridiculous, but hey. You still have those AI passes where they are pinned on the board, their back turned to the play, but they somewhat can make a fast tape-to-tape pass to one of their teammates. The opposite team AI seems to be way more into checking and poachers than our own AI teammates. That also seems scared to go to get a loose puck, especially D-men that will stay on the blue line when you're in the O zone and the puck is loose in front of them. There's no ice chew telling them to go get the puck to keep possession and the play alive. I haven't seen hundreds of hours yet, and every game you get example of those. Each card stat, yes, influence the gameplay, but not as much as other variables they include for simulation purposes, like player or team having a bad game or a great game, the game learning your playstyle and adapting to it, etc. These variables are out of your control, of course, and affect the game greatly no matter the difficulty level and the roster you have. You can have a stacked team and still get hammered by lower stacked ones, and same thing the other way around. For example, in Cup Chase, all the teams at this stage are quite similar stat-wise. But there are games where you will score 15 unanswered goals and playing the same team again later on, you'll barely be able to get some shots in. The disparity is so great that it makes it a game ball and makes creating your lineup kind of a moot point. So your lineup stats only become crucial when you play online competitive, as it will be a level playing field. But playing against the CPU, no matter the cards you have, is just a bit too random, making the whole experience frustrating at times. Play enough and the cycle will become apparent, and from the first couple of plays, from the first period, you will get an idea of what kind of game you have on your hand, what team has the momentum this time. For the reward path and competitive mode, I'm not too versed on those. I don't play enough and I'm here for the fun, so other YouTubers like Sleeveless Gaming will give you more insight on those. For players like myself, it will be Cup Chase, Wildcard, and Hot Moments mainly. Wildcard is great if you want to try online and a set roster, or you can't use your full stacked roster. Cup Chase is a commitment, which is as fun as chasing the cup can be. It becomes redundant quite a bit once you've done it a handful of times. It's not a bad mode, but you can't have two Cup Chase running at the same time, which is a shame. Hear me out. I'd like to have one Cup Chase set for my objectives and set creation, where I can play a roster of chill or check my game players or whatever event we have on to complete the objective associated with it. And one other Cup Chase when I can play my stack roster and challenge myself at higher level on my own pace. But whichever difficulty you choose, you'll obtain. So if you play your stack roster on higher difficulty like All-Star, but have a weak objective where you need to get goals or passes with lower players from a set, you're screwed. You got to play until the end and get the rewards and restart a Cup Chase. Players like myself barely have time to do one Cup Chase per week, in addition to hot moments and objectives. So it can be frustrating, and you start having a Cup Chase at lower level like Pro, Semi-Pro, because it will be the most efficient to complete sets and objectives to get new cards. I like the Cup Chase idea, don't get me wrong. I can play it all week and at the end get whatever reward or trophy, as well as playing more challenging games. But without squad battles to complete the objective, it hinders the value that Cup Chase has. I don't care about squad battles reward if we have Cup Chase. The squad battle mode can be there and gives you XP like wildcards and allow you to do objective, while Cup Chase is the main mode for pack rewards. For players like me with little time on hand, that would be ideal. So, the one thing I really like about DC entry is the chemistry mechanic. It makes every card more valuable than the overall stat on the top corner. It makes creating your lineup more exciting, and each card has to be considered. You'll end up trading less cards, keeping some that might be lower overall but can offer boosts in other ways, making your overall collection more valuable, and your line combination more considerate. I love it. And this is the best part of the update. In terms of rewards, packs are packs. It feels like the same each year. Grind to get cards if you have time, pay if you don't or don't want to, or just go after certain cards you want. The process is flexible and somewhat balanced for the most part. Collectibles from sets are easily acquired by playing, and higher objective or moment can be substituted by completing sets with lower stat players. You get a lot of those by playing the game and the XP path, so generally it's well balanced, enough for each skill level. But there are still missed opportunities after all these years in terms of jerseys, arenas, and custom items you can get in Ultimate Team. None of those are chase items or rewards for winning certain mode or reaching milestone. You get all the NHL jersey from packs, and that's about it. I think you get one special jersey for winning rank or special tournament, and that's it. And even so, no special collabs with players or team. Imagine having an event with whatever team for the 100th, for example, where you have a set like for player cards where you can get special jerseys and arenas, banners, light show that you can collect and show off. Special jersey design collab with a spotlight player that not only you can create a master set for, but can also get a different jersey. It can be for achievement too, on the XP path if you want, a reward for the ground that you can show off, or for some community events, creating more diversity throughout the season than just chasing cards for your roster. I get it. For that, EA would also need to revamp a lot of their overused assets, like the crowd in arenas and base model. But the jersey should be a slam dunk, as a chase, reward, or community event. Same things with the buckets and the tweets. It's true that you have other players with somewhat their own equipment and all these without any helmet, but customizing your team look as an option, in addition to just the jersey, to give it some grit and make the experience more personable would be great. And seeing those when you play online or cup chase from other players would be cool too. By the way, I haven't seen any dolly mask in any pack this year, so not sure if those are done or not, as I still get a lot of A and Cs. Coach's card seems to be done too, which one would think would be included for some chemistry, like the division players under a division coach, more than a captain that you may or may not use. Again, some potential here. Captain could have different chemistry bonuses, but coach per division, I think adding more AP like he did previous year would be a great addition. So overall, Ultimate Team is the same gameplay-wise with a fresh coat of paint for the menus. The loading time is still unacceptable and it's missing a lot of quality of life elements like multi-select for your cards. But we do have the great addition of chemistry lines for each season, which I'm all in for. And it makes playing Ultimate Team different and more fun this year. So kudos on this one. The offline modes are more of the same as per last year. The big change this year, and I use the word big really lightly, is the Be a Pro, with somewhat a new progression system. Creating your own character is stripped down, still. You can only choose a handful of heads and the customization options are bare-bones, not only for your character build, but also for the equipment. You won't be able to make a character that looks like you. You can't even make a character with a decent mustache like previous year. There's no integration of some customization like in Shell. No way to get new gear, and the money you make in that mode is tied to increase abilities or perks, which don't make sense most of the time. Buy a boat and get +1 speed for 3 games. At previous entries, playing in Junior League is gone, same as International Leagues. You get to play the World Juniors Final and Memorial Cup and that's about it. They revamp how you gain your traits and X Factor points this year, as well as the overall menu of the mode, but it's basically the same thing. You don't have slider to balance the skill of your character. Instead, it's just the height, weight, and class that will influence those, as well as some multiple choice questions that will shape you on ice persona. It's all pretty vanilla and nothing new. Nothing fun where you can create wacky players with boosts in certain stats and crappy in others. What made this mode even more stale are the cutscenes and dialogues. Oh lord. They look old because they are old, and the character model are a Temu version of what they should be, making the experience feel cheap and rushed. They got Celebrini to do some voiceover, but poor guy. He probably had no guidance or direction whatsoever, and was just told to read some lines in a one-take wonder way. In other words, the revamp of the mode comes down to the refreshed menu and a stripped-down version of the mode in every aspect. The coach feedback is as useless and unrealistic as usual, and the way you improve your characters are the same. There's no storyline, no plot twist, no real value. Create a generic avatar and go win the Stanley Cup. After the thrilling part of getting draft, the rest is made. You have an option to play the PWHL tournament, but not in Pro, which is a huge missed opportunity. I'm not an expert in franchise mode, the other big offline mode, but from my experience with it, it's a copy-paste of last year. You pay from some roster updates, but with this game, there's no real-time updates, so you always have to wait for it to catch up. And like each year, the trades and offer rejection or acceptance is wacky as ever. So don't expect a simulation level here. NHL26 wants to be a simulation game, but misses the mark on many fronts. It is still fun to play, but you need to lower your expectation for this. NHL26 is designed for Ultimate Team and Shell players, which is fair as it's their bread and butter. And the only people that should get this game at full price are the ones that play online in those modes in a competitive manner. I like the idea of Ultimate Team. I'm not competitive and don't have time to grind it, but when a cool card comes out, it's true to go after it for a challenge. So is the game worth it? It will be when it will be discounted, and if you haven't bought an entry in the series in the past 5 years. So on paper, I'd say no, but we all know how it is with the sports game. If you're a fan of the sport, no matter what, we'll take the same garbage year round because we love the sport, we love the chase, and we love to play hockey. Even if it's not the best experience and there's no sign of them really wanting to make it better, we're in for the ride. So here we go for my first impression. I might make a more deep dive on different modes and see how the progression of the game goes with Ultimate Team. But in the meantime, feel free to leave your comments below on your first impression of the game. I'm curious to see what you all think about it. And until next time, see ya.